Did you know there are two dead aliens in Mexico? The two bodies shown here were recently revealed on video by a self-proclaimed ufologist. But are they real? If you've been staying up to date, this isn't the first time we've been told we're not alone. In a U.S. congressional hearing earlier this year, it was revealed they have quote-unquote non-human biologics and a crashed spacecraft that isn't ours. These bodies, if that's what they are, were said to have been found back in 2017 near the ancient Nazca lines in Peru. The claims as to the possible age of these bodies vary widely. After doing some light Googling, I saw estimates between 800 and 1700 years old. One news site just decided to make it a nice round 1,000 years and call it a day. Since then, a range of theories have begun circulating the internet. Some say it's a pile of assorted animal and human bones wrapped in some sort of skin or skin-like material. Others claim these bodies have been through x-rays and CT scans, and they've seen what appears to be one complete skeleton, and also claim there was no evidence of pieces from multiple skeletons or other manipulation of the remains found. That said, before we accept these claims, we should note that this same ufologist has been previously known for multiple claims of having found dead aliens, only for his claims to be later debunked. If I'm being blunt, when I first saw this video, my BS detector was screaming. I thought they were going to say it was actually cake and start cutting slices. While the general consensus believes these bodies to be fake, the fact that aliens were predicted on The Simpsons makes me wonder if there might be quote-unquote non-humans in government already. We know The Simpsons have a track record of having made enough correct predictions that some wonder if the writer is a time traveler from the future or privy to whatever plan the powers that be have in store. For us to explore this scenario, we first have to see if any evidence of intelligent life exists on other planets. The Hubble and the James Webb Space Telescopes can see a surprising amount of the known universe, and especially with the new James Webb Telescope, we can see more clearly than ever before. Despite how far and how clearly we can see into space, we have yet to find one shred of visual evidence as to the presence of intelligent life on other planets. Although it's fair to say we might not always be able to see what's happening directly on another planet's surface, there are other forms of evidence we could use to determine whether a spacefaring species lives on that planet. The easiest one being the presence of space junk, since that would be visible from outside a planet's atmosphere. I know we tend to idolize the idea of other, smarter species as somehow being more noble than us, but it's more likely that as a species grows and learns to go out into space, there would be some vehicles, objects, or debris that would be lost in the process and float around their planet or neighboring destinations. While they might be able to reclaim some of those materials, it's more likely that at least some of these objects would be impractical to try to reclaim, so they would probably be left out there floating. With the new James Webb Space Telescope, we haven't heard of any such space junk being found around any planet in the known universe. Considering the James Webb Telescope can see double the distance of the Hubble, and we haven't found any space junk or vehicles flying around in space, that means any aliens who make it here have to traverse at least a minimum of 23 billion light years just to get here. Any species with that level of technology to make the trip without ever giving away their presence cannot possibly have crashed upon arrival and died. To be able to make this long a trip, they would need ships that can withstand any cosmic forces they may encounter, and would likely even be able to handle a hostile encounter upon arrival. So that makes the assertion that they have a crashed ship of unknown origin and quote-unquote non-human biologics less credible. Knowing this, the only remaining theory to consider is some form of interdimensional being. This would be the only scenario that explains why none of our satellites or space telescopes saw anything, while still making the idea of a crashed ship and biologics plausible. Since the only remaining theory involves beings from another dimension, and the spiritual realm can be considered another such dimension, there could be some sort of demonic beings or fallen angels appearing in physical forms that resemble what we think are aliens. Their exact objectives, if they exist, are disputed, as some believe they could be here to manipulate the nations to serve their purposes. This would align somewhat with the predictions made in The Simpsons. Others believe the so-called alien appearances might be a ruse to give the world a common enemy as a way to force us to unite in a single global government. But what do you think? Are aliens real? If so, what are their goals? If you liked this video, you might also enjoy this one here on the screen. Subscribe so you don't miss our next video. Thanks for watching.